we should, fingers crossed, have gone live. As long as everything's working fine.
Just trying to...
believe we are live and ready. Let's actually, yeah, let's make sure that it actually has worked this time and not have a repeat of last week. It was last week, wasn't it?
It was indeed last week. Let's just have a look. Got an advert. That's fun.
It's a good start.
Yeah, I mean...
Got the advert means it should be working.
I prefer not to have an advert personally, but...
Well, you got to deal with that. So, yeah, I think that's us up and running though. So, welcome everyone. We're here for rounds 13 to 15, the halfway point in the season. Or it's about to be the halfway point in the season at the end of the night. From Yas Marina.
I can confirm I can see the stream and it is running on, so it does look like it's working.
Ideal. That's good then, yeah. Here we are, Yas Marina, for our first and only night race of the season. Of course, you've got to do a night race around Yas Marina. I mean, look at it. It's a beautiful track at night. Let's not, you know, that hotel, chef's kiss. I love it.
Probably going to be expensive to stay there, I'd imagine, though.
I'd have thought so. I'd have thought it would be.
Just waiting for everyone to ready up.
Luckily we don't have to worry about that because this is in virtual land.
Oh, obviously, if this was real life, us doing this, we'd probably not be able to. We probably wouldn't be able to afford to stay there. Let's be realistic.
Let's be completely realistic. We wouldn't afford to even take a single car to Yas Marina, let alone even go around the circuit.
Might be able to afford to fly it, but
yeah, we'll just get to look down at the track as we fly over it. That's it. But yeah, here we are though. And it's quite a... there's going to be another mix-up of the standings after tonight. Obviously, last week we had a few of the fast runners not able to make it. And this week we have... well, our first and second in the championship both are unable to make tonight. So Liam Ferguson and Joe Turnell, that have been here since round one, haven't missed a race. The pair of them have opened up a sizable lead at the top of the standings. And the pair of them are absent tonight, which gives a good opportunity for those behind to start to close in. I'm looking especially at third place Scott Morgan. See if he has a good week, and he could find himself... I mean, he could actually find himself leading the championship at the end of the night if it all goes his way.
I think another one though we've got to keep our eye on returning Jason Sherlock.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mathematically, if he has an almost perfect week, I think he can just about be level in the championship at the top. But he'd need a near perfect week. And of course, with the results of qualifying so far, he hasn't had. It's a good qualifying session for him. Let's not take that away at all. He will go through the qualifying results obviously shortly, but qualifying on pole actually, and a very decent close qualifying, but returning Cian Walsh gets pole position with a 1.5 tenths gap back to second place, which is quite sizable. See if that kind of translates into the race itself, though. That's a completely different story. As we're getting ready to load in, welcome everyone who has turned up. Please do, the usual, get involved in chat. Let me know if it's all running perfectly fine as well. It looks like it is from our end, but we thought that last week. But yeah, once we're in, we will do a run through of everyone as they make their way round to the grid to start race 1 of the night, round 13 of the championship.
Usual get
Welcome Fastbird.
Usual get my settings correct. That's there.
So yeah. Luca's in the chat as well. Welcome, Luca. Haven't spoken to you in a while.
Should be out racing.
Hope all is well. So, as we watch as Cian Walsh makes his way around the circuit for the warm-up lap, we'll have a quick run-through of the results from qualifying. So, starting on pole, as mentioned, is Cian Walsh with a 2 minutes 2.397. Behind him, so starting next on the grid, is Michael Desi. Since the switch to his Veloster, has had a couple good rounds so far. So he had his last round at Hakone. He had some good results and gained some decent points, and now round 2. Looks like the switch is working for him so far, so have to see whether he can kind of repeat the form he had in the first round at Sunset Peninsula. Row behind them is Sam Creek and Matt Fitzgerald. Good qualifying for them. Row behind is Jason Shollock and Dan Dryden. Then it is Bradley Thornton and Darren Powell making his first start of the season. He's filling in for the absent Robin Walters, if I've got that correct. I need to make sure that he is in the Dunkin' Donuts Veloster. Yes, he is. Yep, look at that. My memory is better than it has been at days. So yes, he'll be starting in 8th. Behind them will be Anthony Bartolini and Mark Guest, our winner from last race as well, Mark Guest. So he's actually found himself just suddenly 4th in the championship, so he could have a really good result if things go his way tonight as well. The row behind them is Joseph Atkinson and Owen Good. Then it is Scott Morgan and Connor Lees in 13th and 14th. 15th is Kyle Cully with I think that's his best qualifying of the season, so good job there from Kyle. With Asa Beebe, Thibaut Debomi, Phil Garside, Clement Marceau, and then at the back in 20th and 21st is Matt Carter and Lee Hepburn, but in their VWs at the back. And it's it's good to see a mix of cars in this A lobby. Of course, the joy of the touring cars being a mixture of everything involved, but be interested to see how it all kind of unfolds as the race goes on. Obviously, you can see Cian Walsh leading everyone around and taking his time getting there, making sure that he's not going to be sat on the grid for too long.
Very long warm-up lap here, so obviously it's one of those drivers. Obviously, wherever you do it, drivers get called out of their positions. If they've started bolting their way around the track quite quickly, whilst half the grid is still waiting to be called, they're going to find themselves sitting and waiting for a while, and obviously it is a very long lap here. Yeah,
you do run that risk, don't you, where if you head off early, obviously you want to get some heat in the tyres and make sure that you're going to get as good a start as possible. If you allow yourself to kind of let the tyres go cold, then that could screw you into turn 1 and through that first section really. And Cian Walsh looks like he slowed everyone down. Made it to a point where he's making his way to the grid quite quickly now. But I'm excited to see how this one goes. I can't wait for this one. I'm personally a big fan of Yas Marina as a track to watch. There's some technical sections, there's some long straights. I think it's just a good track, personally. May have to switch who we're going to start. Oh no, Ryan again, is he still ill? Honestly, not sure on Ryan. Didn't hear anything from him this week, so I believe so. But honestly, I haven't heard anything from this week, so I can't really comment. I wouldn't like to say yes, he's still ill, only to find out he isn't, and I'm just wrong. He might just be busy. It happens. It's no problem at all. So then, as you can see, last few cars just lining up in the background. And we will get this one underway. There we go then. Everyone is ready on the grid. And round 13 of the championship is underway, and looks like a great start there from the Echo Sneak Vauxhall of Sam Creek, who's pulled alongside De Hesse into turn 1, but under braking, looks like he's going to try and make his way around the outside. Cian Walsh has got the whole shot. He's away in first place. Second and third, you can see side by side. Everyone further back looks like they've made it through safely. No one seems to be coming off in turn 1, and Desi has to settle, unfortunately, for third place. He just gets in behind the Astra of Sam Creek, but it is Cian Walsh leading the way into the hairpin for the first time. I think everyone at the back looks like they've got through fine, apart from Carl Cully, who's dropped around a few places. I can see on the ticker down to 21st place.
And it looks like we might actually be going for a restart here, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, drivers are
Looks
back.
like something's happened.
Yeah, so
might have a similar situation to the Watkins restart, which was a desync, which they did an early call of a restart when they got everything going. So, okay then. So that was round 13. Good race.
what that does do, as you were saying about Kyle there, having a... Oh, there we go. That might be the reason we've had a disconnect there.
Okay. Who is it?
It was Anthony Bartolini.
Okay, so yeah, must have had there's been a moment, that is no problem.
But going back to the point I was going to make, you were saying there, Kyle Cully dropping to the back of the field there after those first few corners. This gives him a second chance at a better start.
Did you, were you watching further back? Did you notice what happened?
I did notice it was just as I was switching round to the long right-hander. I did see him out wide. I don't know if maybe he got a bit of a touch on the rear or whether he did just have cold rears and it sort of just snapped him wide a bit. But didn't, from where I was, it didn't look like there was contact, but obviously can't rule it out. Start the race, everyone's close together.
So I've just seen in our Discord, restart is due to a ghosting issue, and then it started dashboarding people. So looks like there's an actual big problem going on at the moment. So hopefully that gets fixed, and that's probably why Bartolini's gone. And yeah, if there's a ghosting issue, then that's probably part of the problem as well. That's
Get it?
always
because his
great.
gamer tag is Ghost.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that one, I'll be honest.
The material's not going to get any better, Steve.
Yeah, I should know that. So yeah, apologies to everyone. There'll be a slight delay, it looks like, as we try and get everyone else back in. If we manage to get everyone... Yes, we have. Let's make sure I'm spectating. Attempt number 2. Hopefully it goes better this time round. Welcome, Shane. Sorry to see you can't do tonight, but welcome to watch.
How many times do we have to tell you, man? Buy some better internet.
I believe he's getting some internet sorted later this week, if I've remembered right.
Is he upgrading from PowerPoint to Excel?
Clarkson, hello, how the race is going? Well, first attempt, there was a restart to the lobby, as there was problems with the... there was a ghosting issue and someone got dashboarded. It's great. Racing's going really well. No, we're just about to get the first race of the night underway. So, yeah. Everyone's just going to do the standard warm-up lap, get into the grid, and then we'll try that again. So I'm going to watch from the perspective, as it was better for the purpose of the... cameras at the start from Michael Desi, who I will mention actually, built from the ground up, absolutely. I will mention that he gets a second chance at his start as well, because he did lose second place off the start, so this is his opportunity to wrong some rights, right some wrongs, that's the one.
I was wondering what you was
And see
going
if he
with
can-
that one there.
Yeah, I realised as soon as I said it, I said the wrong one. But yeah, it's his chance to try again, hopefully hold on to second place, at least for the first few corners this time around. It did seem like a very good start from Sam Creek, pulled alongside, and then had the bonus through the kind of looked to be slightly braver going into the right-hander and took that place off him. No Ferguson, no, not tonight, no. As mentioned, Ferguson, they're all driving into one another to see if they go. So, yeah. If it works, it works. As long as they're not spinning each other out on the warm-up lap, that's a start. But no, unfortunately, no Ferguson tonight. Liam Ferguson is unable to make tonight, and so is second place in the championship, I think. And I could be wrong, but I wonder if there's some sort of pact going on between them and those that missed last week. As you know, you guys missed last week, we'll miss this week, so then it evens out the championship a little bit, which I have no problem with if that's what they choose to do. You third place Scott Morgan is probably the best chance to make the most of that, but he is starting down in 13th for this first race. So if he's going to want a good points haul, he's going to have to at least get into the top 10, I think, to start to make some inroads on that championship lead. So, yeah, I can see it. I can see them do all-round score. Yes, there are no drop rounds in this championship. It's been something that's been discussed a few times, but it's just something that I think, and I don't know your opinion on this one, Connor, but is there another problem? I swear I just had another black screen.
Yeah, I just had that as well. Everybody is showing as being there. I'm just looking down. Nobody's gone grey and disconnected.
So we might still be okay.
We should have 21.
Still looks fine. Okay.
Yeah,
we're just it's fine. Yeah, no. On the subject of drop rounds, it's one of those things, and I'm interested in your opinion on this as well, Connor. Me personally, I'm not that much of a fan of drop rounds as a concept. I get the idea behind it, and I appreciate the idea behind it, but for me, for like a championship setting, I don't know what it is. I'm not that. It's always been something that's always put me off slightly.
I can speak from experience because in the real world I do karting, and
of course
our series it's a 10 rounds league. You get 2 drop rounds. It does help if you've had a bit of a dodgy round, whether the kart's been dodgy or you've been unable to make it the race for whatever reason. So it does help if you know you're going to miss rounds to keep you in the fight. But again, at the same time, I kind of like everything counts. It's down to all rounds.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if you had a track that you knew that you weren't that great at, you could just go, I won't turn up there then.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll continue that once the race gets underway, as we are ready and waiting to attempt number 2 at round 13 of the championship. And we are off, and it does look like a slightly better start there, much better start for Michael Dessy this time round, and he immediately slots in behind, and I think that's actually a really good start for Anthony Bartolini, who gets alongside Sam Creek into turn 1. I think that's not Bartolini, sorry, my apologies, that is Matt Fitzgerald, who's taken 3rd place for a second, and then he did look like he just slightly lost out on that one on exit, but great start yet again from Cian Walsh.
One car I did notice got a little bit of a slow launch off the line, Asa Beeb.
Asa Beeb dropped down to 18th place off that start, moving away into the hairpin for the first time. Don't think there might have been a couple shuffles of position further back. I think Scott Morgan initially got himself into the top 10 and has dropped back down to 12th.
Clement Marceau ran very wide at that hairpin.
Yeah, he's dropped himself down to 21st place. Let's hope he gets a good run down the straight, but as we make our way into this important chicane for the first time, Cian Walsh leads them round. He's going to hope for a good exit, and Dessy's going to hope for a good exit as well. Further back you can see there's a swap positions. I think that's Matt Carter and Phil Garside swapping.
Oh, cars round at the back. Cars round at the back. We've had a collision coming out of the hairpin.
I think looking at the ticker, that might be Matt Fitzgerald, who's dropped down to 21st place. We'll have to keep an eye and see if he can make his way back through. But as you can see up at the front, these 3 are keeping it as they were. Looks like, yeah, Matt Fitzgerald's have dropped down 4th places now. Jason Sherlock, as we've probably just been unfortunately spun round and make his way back through. There's a bit of a gap between 4th and 5th place now, so I think that's probably where the incident happened. Not sure who would have been involved in that one with Fitzgerald, but hopefully he can find his way back through. You can see those 3 wide in the background behind. I think that's Mark Guest, Bradley Thornton and Anthony Bartolini scrapping away for 6th, as they kind of lead the queue that's looking to make their way back up to the top 5 quite quickly. Mark Guest looking to make a move at the inside, I think that was. Looks like they've all settled. I think actually it's Joseph Atkinson that's looking to put pressure, as is Connor Leese on Mark Guest. So, yeah, they're all just kind of jostling position these early laps. This kind of around now 10th place down, all jostling, trying to find some rhythm and get themselves into some sort of position. You can see side by side as Connor Leese and Phil Garside as they make their way through the left-hander into the long right.
Background there. Did you see somebody slide out very wide there? Phil Garside's run wide.
Phil Garside, yeah, he looks like he's just lost a few positions on the exit of the right-hander. We're on board here with a switch down to Owen Good, who's got Garside for company. making their way onto the straight yet again. You can see up at the front though, it is still... Oh, my apologies. We have completely missed a change for the lead as Michael Desi finds himself in first place. I think him and Kian Walsh are side by side. Inside line for Desi.
Walsh hangs it round the outside though. That's a very nice move.
They're going to be side by side on the exit of this one, and Sam Creek's looking to try and get involved in behind them as well. Jason Sherlock, though, he's also involved. Just lurking in the background. I see Dan Dryden hoping to get involved in this, but let's make the way into the long left. Around the outside comes Kian Walsh. Has he managed to beat him under braking? I think he's got a really good exit through there. Sam Creek, a little bit of a tap on the back of Michael Desi for a second there, and side by side go the two Sneak Echo cars. Into the right-hander, it's still Desi in the lead. As they've set themselves for a second, it does look like Sam Creek has taken the position off of Kian Walsh. No, what does it make? No, absolutely. I think that was just, I believe that probably was a slipstream moment for Michael Desi that got him in that position. But here he is now, leading the way. You can see the two Echo Sneak cars behind. Oh, a bit of a slide there for Noble.
So you one car
These
to
top
watch
four,
at the
though, they are
moment.
absolutely disappearing.
One car to watch at the minute, Steve. Connor Lees. He's on a mission at the moment. He's up to 10th place now, and this is the best we've seen this MG run all season.
Yeah, it'll be definitely one to keep an eye out. If he can keep himself hovering in those kind of positions, he may have get himself in a really good position for race 3. Meanwhile, just notice at the back of the pack, Scott Morgan's found himself down in 17th place. That is not the championship push that he'll be hoping for. So you can see the Echo Sneak cars, they're almost fighting over who's going to battle against Desi as Sam Creek goes for an outside line. That's shut off quite quickly. He's being spurred on by his teammate behind. Make the way down the straight, very defensive inside run for Desi's, forcing Creek to have to take the outside line if he wants this position. Makes the move round the outside potentially for Sam Creek. Under braking, they look to be equally matched, and I think for a minute Creek is officially ahead, but round the outside again comes Desi. Just managed to keep it side by side up over the curving. There's not a gap on the inside there, he's not leaving any space as Kian Walsh for a second looked to try and make a move up there, but there was nothing to be had. Still round the outside though, Sam Creek, is he going to beat him under braking? I think if he can manage to hold it around the outside here, he will have the better run into the right-hander, but I think... Oh no, he's managed to stick his nose in there. He's still side by side going into the right-hander. Does that open the door slightly for Kian Walsh to get involved as well, as we do have a change for the lead. Sam Creek officially now takes the lead of the race. Desi just manages to slot in behind and hold on to second. Through the final corner we go. Start lap 5 of 10. Sam Creek leads the way from Desi, from Kian Walsh and Jason Sherlock just tucked in there in 4th place, ready and waiting to strike. Dan Dryden sitting in 5th place with Bradley Thornton for company.
One driver up
picked
picked up on Steve.
A few cars going back from Anthony Bartolini. Yes.
Matt Fitzgerald. He was a long way away after the little mistake, little collision he had on the first lap. He's already up to 19th. He's putting pressure on Darren Powell for 18th. I think he's in with a good chance of keeping himself, you know, getting himself out of the drop zone. It was something that looked a bit of a tall order at one point, but he's driving phenomenally well here to bring himself back into play.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't disagree with that at all. So a reminder for those watching that with the system run in OMA is there's obviously a 2-lobby system running tonight. So A lobby and B lobby. The bottom 5 from A lobby in race 1. So that at this point in time would be obviously Ace of B, Darren Powell, Matt Fitzgerald, Lee Hepburn, and Clement Marceau. Those 5 would drop down to B lobby, and the top 5 from B lobby would take their place. So you want to avoid the bottom 5. At the moment, Scott Morgan's lucky enough to be sat in 16th and getting away with it. But, you know, he's going to have to be careful because, like you say, Matt Fitzgerald is on an absolute tear after his early incident. Looks to be trying to make his way through. Up at the front, though, just noticed that there was a change for 5th place as Bradley Thornton has finally got past Dan Dryden. He's now going to try and make his way up to the top 4, who are still as they were. Oh, Mark Guest looks like he's losing a few positions. Unsure if he's had a moment.
I think he's going to have been round, Steve. He's not got any damage on his car, but he was very, very slow. Oh, there's a collision behind.
Big slide in the background. I think Scott Morgan just managed to save that one, but for a moment he looked like he was going round. Yeah, Mark Guest looks like he's got himself settled. He was battling around with, I want to say, with Connor Leese for around 9th place. He's now found himself in 13th.
I think he was ahead of that. I think he was about 7th or 8th at that point.
He's definitely lost a lot of ground, and hopefully he's managed to get his rhythm back. But like you say, I can't see. There's a bit of damage on the rear of his car there, I've just noticed, so he might have had some help to lose that position. Obviously can't comment on that without having seen it. So we see as Matt Fitzgerald does finally look like he's made his move on Asa Beebe. Never mind, Beebe takes it straight back. Fitzgerald has got the inside line though into the hairpin. So just keep an eye and see if he can make through. He's getting a little bit of a touch there from Lee Hepburn just to help him through.
One battle I think is about to shape up, Steve. Connor Leese is looking over Joseph Atkinson here for 8th.
You can see right in the rear view mirrors is Connor Leese. A little bit of a slide there as he's under braking. Oh, for a minute I thought Thibaut de Beaumont was going to
absolutely
just
nailed it.
tap the back of him, but no, he looks like he's managed to get that stopped. In fact, I've just noticed down in 20th, Matt Fitzgerald and Lee Hepburn are scrapping away now, and that's actually given a bit of respite for Asa Beebe, so that's going to work out perfectly for him. Connolly, so as you can see in that Hello Kitty car, trying to get past Joseph Atkinson, but he's just putting that car in the right place. Back up to the front though, as see there is still movement going around towards the back of the grid. Keep an eye on this battle for the lead, so still up at front is Sam Creek. Behind him, Michael Dessy and Kean Walsh with, again still, Jason Sherlock just tucked in 4th. Playing the long game with Sherlock. These three can barely be separated at the moment. They're just nose to tail. Bradley Thornton, you can see just in the background, trying to make his way, and he is going to be bringing down Dryden along with him. It's just whether he has the pace to catch up to these guys.
Another potential battle I can see shaping up soon, Steve. Down in 13th place. Kyle Cully's he's just all over the back here of the Matt Carter VW. He just can't find a way through so far. Matt does seem to be acting as a bit of a cork in the bottle. A bit of a gap has opened up now between him and Owen Good.
Yeah, he does look like he's going for that, I don't want to say going for that defensive drive, but as Cully for a second looked like he was sending it into a gap. Matt Carter closed that one very, very quickly. So yeah, Matt Carter just tucked in there, and that's actually upset the run for Carl Cully, as he's now under a lot of pressure from Mark Guest, as you can just see in the background.
Guest under pressure from Scott Morgan.
Yeah, this could turn into a triple overtake if they manage to pull it off right. Mark Guest, Scott Morgan and Carl Cully almost 3 abreast as they make way into the braking zone for the chicane. Mark Guest, brave under brakes and dives it up the inside, takes a position off of Carl Cully. So Cully was looking ahead at Matt Carter, went for a little bit of an opportunistic move that did close, and Mark Guest said, "Thank you very much, I'll be taking that one then."
Kyle's not taking that line down though.
He's going for that outside run. You can see Guest going very defensive to the inside. Cully possibly around the outside under braking. Looks like he's been really brave on the brakes actually. They've got alongside, a little bit stuck together
Scott
for a
Morgan's
second.
going to see that as an opportunity.
Not sure if Scott's going to quite have the run through there. Carl Cully looking for a very inside line. It's all going to come down to the braking zone into this right-hander and then the left under the hotel. I think Scott Morgan's just gone a little bit wide and he's just slotted in behind. So he's okay at the moment, but he's going to have to be careful because behind him is the drop zone.
Yeah, they've got to be careful. As good as this battle may be, they've got to be wary that this could cost them a lobby.
Yeah, I think Scott Morgan's probably one of those that's very aware of what's going on behind him and is just thinking, I need to get away from this lot, I can't risk it. Matt Carter though, really good drive for 13th at the moment. Cannot take that away from him at all.
He's now got a different challenge behind him though, in that of the Focus fellow. Sorry, it's not a fellow Focus. Obviously, Matt Carter's in a VW, but no, yeah, he's got the challenge now of Mark Guest.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark Guest obviously won race 3 last time around at Hakone, so he's got the pace to be up there. He's just looks like he's just had a couple of moments. You can see the damage on the side of his car. He's definitely been involved in a few scraps as Mark Guest and his CQR.
Another battle shaping up, Steve. Joseph Atkinson on Anthony Bartolini for 7th.
So let's check on that. Yeah, you can see Bartolini taking that inside line. Atkinson looking to try and get a good exit as they go over the curbing.
Just behind, just seen Phil Garside moved up to 10th past Thibaut Devomi, and I believe Scott Morgan's got Kyle Cully now for 15th.
Yeah, just missed that on the exit, on the entrance, sorry, into the chicane. So move made under braking there. And you can see Dan Dryden's actually managed to get 5th place back off of Bradley Thornton. So these two, who for a minute looked like they were going to try and close the gap on 4th, looks like they're just almost having to settle now for the 5th, 6th battle. As you can see, Bradley Thornton for a minute looked to the inside line. Dan Dryden left a little gap there. Not to be had this time round. You can see the differences in lines those two are taking through those sections, and they're all completely legal. Little graze on the barrier there for Bradley Thornton. That's luckily not going to have done any damage to him. Up the front, you can see though, still Sound Creek is putting on another show like he did at Sebring just a few weeks ago, where he got himself to the lead and just made it so impossible to overtake him. I say that as he leaves a little gap up the inside. Desi looks to try and fill that space. Now he's going to have to settle and slide behind again. Sound Creek is doing a really good job of settling in. Kian Walsh, though, round the outside he goes. Looks to have cut back underneath Desi, and he's looking like he's going to have stolen 2nd place. And Jason Sherlock looks to want to get involved in this as well.
Getting towards those closing stages, Steve. This is where the moves are going to start being made.
Oh, Kian Walsh, what a run he's got out of the hairpin. He's next to his teammate. A pair of them side by side. Oh, and he's just slotted in behind as
Sherlock and Desi are fighting for the slipstream now.
Yeah, all these 4 battling away now. There's just a couple laps left.
Sherlock's taking 3rd there.
Oh, Sand Creek ran a little bit wide. Oh, big slide for Creek. He's going to have an awful exit onto this long straight now. And surely that's going to be the lead taken away from him by his teammate as Kian Walsh takes the lead now of this race. Sand Creek has still got the inside line though. Is he going to make a move on his teammate under braking? I think he's going to settle for 2nd place from this moment. Yes, he is. Jason Sherlock, though, you can see, just tucked in 3rd now. All that's done, by the way, has brought in
Sherlock's got his nose up the inside
within a second nearly of these lot. Yeah, I think he's just going to settle in behind. Yes, he has. So,
another change that we've seen. Joseph Atkinson did get Anthony Bartolini in the end for 7th place. Connor Leese is on the back of these two, though.
Yeah, so that's scrap 4. Yeah, really will be a really good result, 7th place, especially for Connor Leese in that MG. It's not been the strongest car this season so far. See, oh, Sam Creek went over the curve slightly on the entrance to that corner. I thought he was going to lose that one.
Jason Sherlock looking up the inside there.
Just has to settle in behind. As you can see, though, we start the final lap of the race. Kian Walsh is leading the way. Sam Creek tucked in behind. The gap between 4th and 5th now is just a second, so I reckon a couple more laps of this and Dan Dryden and Bradley Thornton would have got involved in this fight for the lead, but it's going to be too little too late, I expect, unless something drastic happens. Or a little run there wide for Creek, and that's given the opportunity for Sherlock to dive up the inside. Oh, good move there by Jason Sherlock under braking, takes 2nd place away from Sound Creek. Now down the long straight here at Yas Marina. Final time this race. Let's see, still Walsh in 1st, Sherlock now 2nd, Creek in 3rd, who for this entire race was in control.
Seen 2 side-by-sides here, Thornton and Dryden, and Bartolini and Atkinson as well.
And moves being made further back for the fight for 5th. I think Bradley Thornton's going to take that one back. And up here, though, you can see Start side by side for a second is Creek and Sherlock. Desi looks to get involved as well under brake, and he just pulls alongside Sam Creek, but I think he may have to back out of that one. Yes, he does. Just going to have to tuck him behind. I think that's probably the last overtaking spot these lot got.
Very
unless
big
something
battle
drastic
going on
happens
towards
into the
back,
final
Steve.
corner.
Final safe spot at the moment. Kyle Cully is fighting on here. He's got a big queue of cars building up behind him.
Yeah, very quickly though. I'd love to check that out. This fight for second place is really heating up. Michael Desi looked like he was going to steal it for a second, then him and Sam Creek are side by side. Meanwhile, up at the front, Kean Walsh has absolutely nailed this one. Driven a really good race, rounds the final corner. You can see in the background the three of them side by side, but crosses a line. Win for Kean Walsh. Second place goes to Jason Sherlock. Third place for Sam Creek. Desi has to settle for fourth. Then it is Thornton in fifth. So we rumble back to that fight for what is 16th place, and the leader of this lot will be staying in a lobby for this round. Yes, it is Carl Cully. So that's unfortunate for the bottom five. There's confirmation, though, of the victory for Kean Walsh. Second place for Jason Sherlock and third place for Sam Creek. Desi was unlucky to come home fourth, but it's still an extremely good result for him. Must also be mentioned, though, the...
And Steve, I can already bring you the drivers that are joining us from B Lobby.
I will await that with bated breath.
Right. I just need to confirm gamer tags and actual names, because I'm still terrible with this.
That's no problem at all. I'll check. So, Clarkson, has Brandon retired from racing, or is he in B Lobby? So, Brandon has actually stopped with Forza now. He's racing mainly on iRacing and ACC, which, you know, cannot blame him at all. Yes, it was a very good race, and I very much enjoyed that one. And I hope you enjoyed watching that as well. So there's going to be a short interlude now as we get ourselves ready for race 2. Obviously the bottom 5 that we are losing from that race are Darren Powell, Matt Fitzgerald, Asa Beebe, Lee Hepburn and Clark Marceau.
I can bring you the names now,
them, but hopefully we will see them back for race 3. Go on then, who are the 5 we are gaining?
Declan Evans.
Good result for Evans, yes.
Aidan Rafferty. Philip Birch. I've got to be careful with the pronunciation here, Steve. I'm going to... It's the first time A-Lobby appearance this season. I'm going to go with Johan Jamal.
Let me check for you.
It's the 693, Johan Jamal. I think that's how I'm going to go with it. And Liam Buckley's the final driver joining us.
Good to see them making the jump.
So that is both the Echo Rebellion cars. That is one of the... I'm not going to actually attempt to pronounce the team name there, because I think I might get this wrong as well.
That is not a problem. So those 5 will be jumping up. Glad everyone enjoyed that race.
Glad the stream's holding this time as well.
Exactly, yeah, can't complain. So yeah, just a short interlude whilst this gets resolved. Yeah, like I say, I'm glad that everyone enjoyed that one.
Go on then, Steve. I'll pose a question to you.
I'm already dreading it, but I'm ready.
Prediction for race 2 winner. I will let you have first pick.
Ooh, I think I'm going to go with Sam Creek.
Going with Sam Creek.
He got a good... Ooh. Anyone know why the cones are made out of lead on this game? As I say his name, he appears in the chat. I can't answer that for you, in all honesty, yeah, can't answer that. But you're still my pick for the win for this race, though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think his pace up at the front is extremely good, and his defending is very good as well. It was just I think it was just one moment where someone got a run on him, and it was just there was almost nothing he could do at that point. But he had defended perfectly throughout the entire race, as we've seen at Sebring as well. And I think that he'll get the good start and do the same again this time. Of course, you can't count out his teammate. Keir Morsh is extremely quick as well, and the pair of them are susceptible to just escaping if they're allowed to. And I think Desi and Sherlock did really well to hold with them. But I think, yeah, if Creek can get himself in first, then it's going to be another one of those situations of just he can make that the widest cut Astra on the grid when he needs to. And yeah, that's my.
That's your pick. You're going for.
Yeah, I let Noble go by after I hit the curb a bit funny, then just did my best to get Noble a gap. Sparks is rubbish. Noble for the win, says Fastbud. Love it.
Ooh.
Love it.
Now, I'm struggling for my pick here.
Are you trying to come out with something like really out there that everyone goes, really?
Obviously, it's hard to pick beyond anybody from that leading quartet from that race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for Michael Desi. I think that Hyundai looks quick.
Okay. You're looking at Desi?
Yes, I am.
That's all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think, yeah, he did look extremely quick. Really love you too. Glad to see some friendship in the chat. That's what we want. I think, yeah, it's not a bad shout personally. I think we're doing a bit of a disservice by not putting Jason Sherlock as one of those as well. I mean, those four did look a class ahead of the rest of the field in that one. So I wouldn't put it past, any of those four getting the win. But it comes down to the early laps. If they can get away like they did that time. Because I think whatever incident it was that involved Matt Fitzgerald, which kind of created that gap, it appeared, that did quite a bit. I think Bradley Thornton showed some real pace towards the end of that race, as did Dan Dryden. All in the bump stiffness. Wow. Mentioning it in chat, huh? Oh.
That's opening up a can of worms.
Isn't it? The nerve. The absolute nerve.
Was it Secret Agent Bump on scene?
Let's not bring him into this. Still don't know who that is, by the way. He is an enigma. Of course, I'm the first person to call it out. Nah, not even the first person. But, bringing it up in chat. Something else.
We were purposefully not bringing it up for a reason.
Yeah. That was on my list of no words, alright? If I had a camera, I'd be holding up my sign of no words. But you don't need that. Yeah, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So I think they're just making sure that B lobby is all set up fine. Actually, I think. Yeah, no, we're nearly all in. We're just missing one person. So, of course, chat, do feel free to get involved. Not you, Sam. Do feel free to get involved who you think is going to win the second race of the evening. If you think that we've missed it by... you can get involved if you want, but if you pick yourself, that's just cheating. Yeah, do get involved who you reckon is going to get the win. Obviously, the starting positions for race 2...
We're not going to repeat that word.
Yeah, the starting positions for race 2 are the finishing positions of race 1. So finish first, you're starting first, and all the way back, etc. So, it's it's tailored to those that finish at the front, but then the race 3 carnage is going to be race 3 carnage.
Just race 3 in general, though. The only way you could make it more carnage is if you drew ball 12.
Don't jinx it again. That happened last time.
Maybe we want to jinx it. Maybe we want carnage.
This is valid. Carnage is harsh. I think it's just, you know, those that have been quick for the night have to go through those that have been not as quick. I mean, the gaps between the everyone time-wise is not that big a distance, so it's not as huge as a problem as it could be. You know, gone are the seasons of ballast where you'd be starting in 12th place with, you know, an pre-built-in engine damage and all sorts. But, you know, we'll soon see. Need to double check what's happening, because at the moment I can see that Phil Garside is currently hosting the lobby.
I did notice it looked like Connor Lease might have lagged out. I don't know if they're maybe just giving Phil the tutorial of how to host.
I will ready up anyway, just in case. You never know, it might be alright.
Something's just fell over.
So, we'll just... Apologies for the slight delays. We'll look to get round 14 underway. If you could add any track onto the calendar, Connor.
Ooh.
Or even chat get involved as well. If any track on the calendar that you wish for the touring car racing that is in the game, what would you add?
Ooh. That's tricky. That is very, very tricky.
Is it because there's not many options?
No, actually. Let me just double check what we've got in the calendar, just because I don't want to say...
Don't want to say, oh, let's put Sebring in, and then look and go, oh, wait, there is Sebring.
Right,
Is
so
that what you're thinking?
there's 4 tracks that I actually would like to see in the calendar.
Okay.
That aren't in there.
I'm ready.
One of them, obviously, we do go to, but a different layout, Brands Hatch Indy, I'd like to see. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it is iconic with touring car racing. I feel it does put on some very good racing. You don't get the full challenging bit of Brands Hatch out the back, but I'm kind of biased towards it because it is my local track and I do love the place. Silverstone National, again, kind of, you know, for the real world touring cars, I think it does put on some good racing. You get some interesting lines. You get the thrill of Cops Corner. Road Atlanta is another one that I do like as well. I understand why it's not in the game.
With Brands Hatch, by the way. So yeah.
Hey,
Fastbird agrees in the chat for Brands Hatch.
Road Atlanta, I absolutely love the track. I've always loved the track, but I understand why it's not in the game. There are a few curb glitches there.
I think they've managed to fix those, in fairness, but I think the... I know at first there was a couple auto spin curbs on that track.
Oh,
I want to say they've possibly fixed now, but knowing my luck, I say this and then it's not fixed.
There was a scenario in another series that I raced in where a car did hit a curb and proceeded to fly a good 50-60 foot in the air.
Well, let's hope that's fixed.
Yeah. And the other track...
Is that at the bottom of the S's by any chance?
Yes, it was. The little curve on the outside there is you on the right-hand side.
Noble. Yep, I know exactly the bit you mean.
And the final track I actually would like to see, and I don't think OMA have ever actually used this as a touring car track. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Lime Rock.
I believe it was in the early seasons, and it had the most crashes in a race because of the run up the hill when it was using the kind of not the chicane version as you go up to the the uphill right. It was the one where you can almost hug that outside tyre barrier, and I think that race was almost spent completely under safety car conditions because the amount of people that crashed on that wall. Obviously, time has moved since then, but yeah, it did. We did race there, and yeah, that was back in the day. I want to say that was back in the days where there were slower people racing, but I'm putting myself in that bracket, which
You're
is
putting
absolutely
ourselves
correct.
in that bracket.
I'll putting ourselves in that bracket, which is absolutely correct.
Still, there's a possibility I'll come out of retirement again at some point.
You would, but you love it here too much.
I do love it here, but maybe my retirement won't include touring cars.
I see.
Maybe race outside of touring cars.
I'd like to do some racing outside of touring cars.
I was eyeing up
but I also know that I'm terrible.
I was eyeing up a rather nice looking Ferrari the other day.
Were you? Yeah. Yeah, I hear that hint. Right then. Yeah, seems like ages ago that Lime Rock. Right then. So, round 14 of the championship. We are here for the warm-up lap. As you can see, the finishing results of race 1 are the starting positions for race 2. So, leading us around for the warm-up is Cian Walsh again. Behind him is Jason Sherlock, who we have done a disservice by not mentioning him. Starting in second place, I think we may have been wrong to not mention him as a potential winner for this one, as Sam Creek decides, as the two Echo Sneak cars decide to mess around in the starting grid on the warm-up lap. That's completely fair. You do you. If you damage yourselves, that's on you.
I was going to saying that, Steve, Scott Morgan I've just seen have a rather interesting one at the back straight. I'm on his car, and I just turned around to grab a drink, just heard a load of squealing of tyres, turned round, and he was off the track on the back straight.
I do know that quite a few people, because you do get a fastest lap bonus point during the race, quite a few people do tend to purposely dirty their laps on the warm-up to make sure that they're... because obviously it's a slow lap they're doing this one, and if it was somehow clean, and then they didn't have another clean lap for the rest of the race, they're not going to get the fastest lap bonus point. So quite a lot of people do tend to purposely drive marginally off the circuit, enough to dirty their lap on the warm-up. Some people go to the extreme and, completely cut a chicane, as we saw Cian Walsh do earlier. But we'll have to, we'll keep an eye, because you never know. He might have actually had something happen to him on that back straight that we didn't catch. But yeah, just a quick run through then of the grid as they make their way towards the final few corners. It is Cian Walsh, Jason Sherlock, Creek, followed by Desi, Thornton, Dryden, Atkinson, Bartolini, Lease, Good, Garside, Tabomi, not Tabomi, apologies, Carter in 13th, Guest in 14th, and it is Morgan, Cully, Evans, Raftery, Birch, Falcon, Florian Falcon, Young, is it Falcon? Did I get that wrong? Is it Falcon or Jumau? Sorry.
Jumau, I wouldn't be Jumau.
Jumau, apologies. Jumau in 20th, and then 21st is Liam Buckley. So we will get started watching the Ford.
The drink of water I was
Jason
going to
Sherlock.
do before some tyre squeal diverted my attention.
And the rest of the grid, as you can see in the background, just getting into position. There we go then. And round 14 of the championship is a go, and it is a great start again from the front four in fact. Yet another really good start for Kean Walsh as he makes his way and gets the helm shot yet again. Sherlock tucked in behind, and it looks like Creek is having to settle for third place with Desi in fourth and Bradley Thornton all over the back of him. Dandrine behind him with Atkinson behind. Bartolini 8th, good. Lee, Scarside and DeBomi look like they've got away okay. Further back doesn't look like anyone's had any errors at all going for the first few corners. You can see under a lot of pressure is Jason Sherlock as Sam Creek looks to go around the outside. He's just gonna give him a bit of a force to the curbing just to upset his exit. Desi's going to look to try and pounce on this one as he gets in the slipstream straight away. Sherlock on the other side, though, is completely hung out to dry. He's not getting any slipstream, nothing at all on that left-hand side, and he's possibly just going to find himself under a lot of trouble as he makes his way to the braking zone from the left-hand side. Which looked like a jump start. Oh, if you're right there, mate, that would definitely be checked, unfortunately. So hopefully it wasn't, because that was unfortunately what happened to Sam Creek at Sebring, but we'll have to keep an eye. As you can see, though, Kean Walsh has got away well, so it's these two scrapping away for second place.
Just looking back through the field, Steve, no real big movers I'm seeing so far. Everyone's pointing in the right direction. It's been relatively clean back here so far.
It's always good to see. I have noticed one move that has gone pretty well, and that is Declan Evans finds himself in 16th place, so he's gained a couple positions, or just the one?
The one, I believe.
Just the one. It's Carl Cully who's dropped back a couple, because he now finds himself in 18th. With these front three, though, you can see Sam Creek has got himself not quite comfortable yet. Bradley Thornton makes his way into fourth. For a second, looked like he was going to have a go at Jason Sherlock. He takes a tighter line into that final corner, does Bradley Thornton. Non-exit. Looks like, are they going to get a run? Doesn't look like it. You see these lot all just nose to tail.
I definitely think, Steve, there's some team games going on here. The gap between the top two, this is definite team games.
Yeah, can't really argue with that on the way it's looking at the moment. Sam Creek, he's kept himself in second place, and now he's going to do his defensive moving, which, by the way, completely legal defensive moving, as he hits the cone, sends them wide, and that's going to give Jason Sherlock an opportunity up the inside. Under brake, and Sherlock takes that position off him. Is Sam Creek going to get the undercut? Not quite. Gives him a little tap on the back. That's not going to give the best exit for Creek, and that could actually give a chance to Bradley Thornton to make a move. But yeah, just as you mentioned, the potential team game going on, Sam Creek loses out in second place and maybe even starts to lose out in third, which isn't exactly what they probably had in mind.
No, Bradley Thornton is up into third by the looks of it.
He's going to keep it under braking. Sam Creek's managed to just stick his nose in, and in fact, a little bit of a wobble there for Thornton. Creek ran a little bit wide there. Is he going to slot back in behind Sherlock? Said a little bit wide. It seemed a little bit further than that, but Bradley Thornton, you can see making a move for potential third place. No, he's just going to settle for fourth still as he watches these two battle away. Not sure if Sam Creek should possibly think about giving that position back, Jason Sherlock, for that for running a bit wide on the exit of that chicane, but probably too late to think about that now, as Jason Sherlock finds himself under immense pressure from Bradley Thornton, who then finds himself under pressure from Michael Desi. So that's going to give a little bit of respite for.
I know, I've just had a battery warning, so I'm just going to very quickly change my batteries.
Not a problem at all. Oh. As I get a black screen, is that...
Before I take the batteries out, we've got a car at the back.
We have a car in the wall. I think that's Liam Buckley. Is he in the...
He's... Oh, I'm getting a lot of black screen there.
Yeah, it looks like Liam Buckley's got a problem. Not sure if he's got really bad lag or what's going on with him there, but I will just switch away from that. That's not looking to be going too well for Buckley.
I've now got a spinning wheel, and he's out. He is out.
Yeah, Liam Buckley is out of the race. That is unfortunate for him. Unfortunately, that does still leave what would be... He is one of the 5 that would be making the drop down. Raftery, Cully, Birch, and Jumal are the 5, the other 4 at the moment making the drop. You can see, yeah, there he goes, Buckley out of the race. Right, further back you can see there is a bit of a scrap going on for 7th place. And like Dan Dryden is under immense pressure around him.
Back with some new batteries.
Not sure if I've got a bit of a visual error there. Oh, there's contact there on the back of, I believe that was Desi, and Dan Dryden has found himself in the wall. He's managed to get himself going again. I'm not sure. He looked like he had some sort of issue going on as his car was kind of like phasing in and out there. That's such
He's back going, but he's
so unfortunate. He's back going.
no damage on the
Michael
car.
Desi did get spun round and now finds himself in 12th. What does that do up at the front? That puts Owen Good in 5th place. Atkinson looked like he got caught up in that a little bit and finds himself in 8th. He just had to take some avoiding action. The top 4 have well, I say the top 4, 2nd to 4th have got away now from this gap. So Good is now
There's another move.
leading the fight back.
Up to 6th
Connor Lees
place.
makes a move on Bartolini for 6th place. Yeah, good spot in the background there. So Lees is sensing a chance for some really good points here. As you see Michael Desi looked like he just made a place there on Scott Morgan as he tries to make his recovery drive through.
It was out wide there. That was Bartolini out wide, and Atkinson's up the inside for 7th now.
Yeah, that's a place lost there for Bartolini. So up at the front you can see Kean Walsh is leading the way.
Bartolini chopping downfield. Garside's now got past.
Bartolini's really upset his rhythm there with that. That's the thing I will say with Yas Marina, and it's that technical section kind of after the 2 straights, or well, the straight, the chicane, and then the half straight, the kind of curve, you know the one.
Yeah.
From there on, it's such a technical area. You make one mistake and you could find yourself losing just so many places, and it's one of the reasons I actually really love Yas Marina as a circuit. It tests everything, does this track, and I think that's it. You know, each car has something for them here, and yeah, unfortunately, it looked like Bartolini just really got himself into a bit of a muddle there, and hopefully he'll make his way back through. You can see, though, the pair of, well, I was going to say the pair of Sherlock and Thornton just look to be falling back a little bit here from Sam Creek. He's not really finding himself in a position to need to do any defending. He's just kind of now on the charge, see if he possibly can try and catch up to his teammate as the gap behind them.
Man on the charge, Steve.
Extended to over a second.
Connor Lees, he's looking for 5th place on Owen Good here.
He's definitely having a look. I think he might be getting, I don't want to say he's getting slowed up slightly, but he's looking a lot more comfortable tonight than he has in some of the other races, has Lees. Owen Good in 5th place, doing really well to hold on to this one at the moment. We're at about the halfway stage of the race. Is that a little bit wide there from Good? Is it going to upset his run through the left-handers here? I think he's managed to keep that one going. I think Lees is finding himself under quite a bit of pressure actually behind from Joseph Atkinson, so he's trying to take it quite calmly. Up at the front though, keep an eye on this battle going on. Bradley Thornton, you can see, just tucking in behind Sherlock now. He's been following him for a few laps. He's just going to maybe look to try and sneak his first podium of the season, is Bradley Thornton at this rate.
I'll tell you one
The move is
person
made further back.
to keep an eye on, Steve. Dan Dryden. He was at the back after that moment. He's already pulled in a massive chunk of that gap.
Yeah, he was.
He's about,
I think at one point it was about 7 seconds back, wasn't he? Sam Creek goes really wide through the on that left-hander and finds himself now down in 3rd place under a lot of pressure from Bradley Thornton. I think he's made quite a mistake there, as Creek. So Sherlock finds himself in 2nd place. Creek and Thornton are side by side for 3rd. Now, which one of them is going to be getting the slipstream off of? I think it might be mainly Thornton that's getting the slipstream, but I think they're kind of sharing it half and half actually. Into the braking zone for the chicane. Really brave on the brakes there for Creek. Oh, he's made a little bit of contact, I think, on Sherlock. It's not done quite enough to upset him.
Oh, Steve just had a little bit of a moment. Phil Garside went a little bit late on the brakes, just went into the back of Joseph Atkinson. He was trying to outbrake Anthony Bartolini into the chicane.
I think, yeah, I can see the gap has opened up now between Connor Lees and Atkinson as these 3, 4, 2nd, 3rd and 4th are all over each other. Sam Creek looks to have actually got a gap at the inside of Jason Sherlock, but that door is... Oh, they get a little bit together. And Bradley Thornton gets the opportunity to get into that one as well. Looks like the 3 of them go side by side. Thornton up the inside of the pair. It's still battling side by side with these three. Sherlock's still got his nose there. Sam Creek up the inside, 3 wide as they go under the hotel. And Creek finds himself in 2nd place.
He's not got the inside, it's Sherlock on the inside.
Sherlock has it straight back. Is Bradley Thornton going to make the move into the final corner? He's looking at it. Look at these three all over each other as they're making their way around the final few corners.
Ian Walsh must be
And
absolutely
with
loving
that,
this out front.
they managed to settle it. Is it still side by side between Creek and Thornton? It is.
It is. There's still an overlap.
I think Thornton's going to have to... Yeah, he's going to concede that one and just slot him behind. But, God, that was close then. How they all managed to get away with that one. They could have at any moment, just the slightest mistake, could have put all 3 of them into a wall, minimum 1 of them into a wall, and they managed to keep it going. A little bit of side-to-side bumping, but don't have a problem with that. That was close. A really good race between them lot. And as you say, the gap now between Cian Walsh and Jason Sherlock has extended to 4.5 seconds. That's first place solidified unless something happens. Meanwhile, 5th, Owen Good. That gap isn't closing between him and those in front, but he is finding himself under increased pressure from 2 behind in Connolly's. And
I think Mark Guest
just caught that in the background, yeah.
I think Mark Guest just caught
Mark Guest behind DeBomi.
Yes, but in that move, Michael Desi got in front of Thibaut DeBomi, but DeBomi's got the run out of the chicane.
Look at the run that DeBomi's got. He's managed to get alongside. He's got a really good overlap on Michael Desi. So make their way through the long left and into the left-hander.
There's a bit of bump there. That's
Declan Evans looks to get involved. Look at the double move from Declan Evans into that one. The gap opened up and he said, "Thank you very much, I'll take 2 of you." And Matt Carter's followed him through as well. So the pair of them go from 14th and 15th to 12th and 13th. Great pair of moves there.
Carter, Joe, Desi got him back.
Oh, these lot are all over each other. A little bit of contact between a few of them. I think Desi wants that place straight back, but Evans is not giving up without a fight. He's got the outside run, which is going to be the inside to the right-hander as Evans. Under the lights we go. DeBomi's just watching this in his mirrors, and yeah, Declan Evans up he goes to 12.
Oh, Desi's not done yet though.
No, he really isn't. All side by side. In fact, behind them, I think that was Matt Carter and Mark Guest going side by side into the left-hander, into turn 1. Carter does keep a hold of that one.
Niall Cully's looking behind in that battle.
Possibly has. The pair still continue to go side by side. I think Guest managed to
Steve's breaking away for a second. Bradley
Never mind.
Thornton up the inside for 3rd. It's going to be a direct race down the back straight. Always an have to cough.
Whoop. Get yourself a water.
That sounds like a plan.
Up at the front, yeah, like you say. Bradley Thornton and Sam Creek side by side. I think Creek is the one benefiting from the slipstream from Sherlock. I think he's just, as they make their way down the straights, I think Sherlock is just... Oh, I thought that was a little bit late on the brakes for a second then from Creek, and no, he managed to keep hold of that one.
Another side by side, Steve, Carter and Guest.
Carter and Guest down the back straight into the chicane.
Kyle Cully's now getting involved in this battle.
Cully for a second I thought he made a tap on the back of Mark Guest, but
he's got to run.
I think he has got to run around the outside, but Cully is just in no man's land out there. He's not getting any slipstream.
Philip Birch is
going to have to settle potentially for Philip Birch. Thing is, right now, Philip Birch, who is 17th, is in the drop zone. So, you know, of these guys here, the front 2 are going to survive and stay up. The rest, they're finding their way down. So
it's the front 3. It's the
front 3. Apologies. Yeah, good maths there, Steve.
Cully goes up the inside of Mark Guest.
Yeah, Cully up to the inside into the right hand as Guest goes wide as a result. Has he managed to control it? Yes, he has. He's managed to keep hold of that one. Into the left hand as we go. So Guest now finds himself in a bit of trouble.
And look who's on the back of this train here, Steve. It's Dan Dryden.
Dan Dryden, like you say, he's managed to get his way through the grid. See, Michael Desi does finally manage to get past Declan Evans. Never mind, Declan gets him straight back as they make their way out of the final corner. Into turn 1 they go for the penultimate time. Still, this fight for 14th is still heating up. Matt Carter at the front of this one. He's doing really well. He's doing a really good weekend so far for I say weekend, it's Monday. Really good week for Matt Carter at the moment. See, it's just settled down a little bit. The front three look to try and get away. Behind them, you can see it's 3 abreast going into the chicane, into the hairpin. Wide there for João.
That's Jan Jamal who slid wide.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know if he had a help. It just looked like I think they were 3 wide. There was probably a bit of contact between them. Now, up at the front, you can see there's a real scrap going on for second place still, as Sam Creek looks to have got a bit of overlap on Jason Sherlock. Bradley Thornton, is he bump drafting Sam Creek down the back straight? I think he might be, you know.
The door opens up 3 wide.
Oh, Sherlock is going to be in so much trouble in the outside of this one as Bradley Thornton and Sam Creek go side by side. Sherlock finds himself losing 2 positions in one corner. Thornton's given a lot of space on that inside, and that could be... Oh, look at the switch there from Bradley Thornton. Has he managed to get that a bit of overlap into the hotel section? Not quite. He's going to have to settle there for 3rd place at the moment. Sam Creek for a minute looked like he was going to lose that one. It's these 3, the lines they're taking through that corner to try and get the different exits. It's such a difference they're making. Final corner go, a little bit wide there from Bradley Thornton. He's going to have to back off a little bit. Sam Creek, by the way, is doing really well at the moment, keeping hold of 2nd place now. Owen Good still sat there in 5th place. He's actually starting to open up a bit of a gap to Connolly's in 6th. Here we are though, final lap of the race. It's still anyone's bet who's going to get 2nd, 3rd. Any one of these 3 could. Sam Creek immediately hits the racing line. Bradley Thornton is under too much pressure from Jason Sherlock. A little bit of contact there between the 3 of them. They're just so close together. There's the slightest opportunity and they're just the little tiny taps here and there.
Sherlock's got a look for a move here.
Yeah, Bradley Thornton goes to go defensive, tries to keep the slipstream. Sam Creek, who's going really offensive to the inside line as well.
Sherlock's got the nose on the inside.
Got the slipstream though. Under braking, is Sherlock going to make the move into the chicane? It looks like he will. A little bit of a tap there on the back of... Well, they all just concertina up a little bit in that chicane. Bradley Thornton now has to settle for 4th. Sam Creek gets a little bit of respite there in 2nd place. Now we've seen some moves made into this left-hander that they're coming up to now. In, well, quite a few corners in a row, quite a few laps in a row, sorry, but I don't think they're quite close enough this time round. Sam Creek going to have done enough to keep hold of 2nd place as they make their way towards the final few corners. I think he may have. But we'll have to wait and see. Anything can change. Under the hotel we go. A reminder, this is a battle for 2nd place. Up in front, Kean Walsh hasn't put a foot wrong. Through the final corners we go. I think Sam Creek has done enough. Up at the front though. Exit in the final corner. It's 2 out of 2 for Kean Walsh. Takes the win in race 2 of the night. Sam Creek does come home in 2nd, closely followed by Jason Sherlock and Bradley Thornton. 5th goes the way of Owen Good in the end. Connor Lees with a season best finish of 6th. Further back, the fight that was going on for the final positions has come to a close. So, reminder then of the the bottom 5 who we are unfortunately losing. So we are losing Liam Buckley. Juan Jamal, we saw. And have to wait for a second as we see the podium. Yes, confirmation then of the results. The bottom 5, who we are unfortunately losing as they go down to B lobby for the final race of the night, is Aidan Raftery, Dan Dryden, who did well to come back to 18th after the earlier incident, Philip Birch and Juan Jamal, and of course Liam Buckley in 21st. But yeah, in the top 10, and Declan Lemons just misses out on finishing in the top 12 and missing out on the opportunity to potentially get the reverse grid draw. So yeah, those from 6th to 12th, so Connor Lees, Anthony Bartolini, Joseph Atkinson, Scott Morgan, Phil Garside, Thibaut Debomi, and Michael Dessy, their names go into the hat, and whoever's number is drawn will be starting on pole position for the third race of the evening. So, for argument's sake, if 10th is drawn, then Phil Garside will be starting on pole with Scott Morgan alongside him, and everyone who finished ahead going back from there. So, time to catch breath after what was a very entertaining race too. And the reverse grid draw gives us the number 7, which means that Anthony Bartolini will be starting from pole position for the final race of the night. Connor Lees will be starting alongside him. It's the highest start of the MG in the season so far. Owen Good will be in 3rd, Bradley Thornton in 4th, Sherlock in 5th, Creek 6th, Kean Walsh in 7th, and then unfortunately Joseph Atkinson, the first of the runners who miss out on that draw, will be starting where he finished in 8th place.
Still waiting to find out who is joining us from B Lobby.
Yeah, just waiting for the results of that one. Hope everyone enjoyed that one. God, that was close. So I have been sent the top 5 from... Yes, I've been sent the top 5. Now, let's see if I can get that sent into the Discord for everyone. Yeah, another good race. Yeah, it was really good. Is that, by any chance, a bot coming in trying to sell things?
Are we getting bots, Steve?
Let's get rid of you.
We're getting so famous, we're getting bots.
HY Brothers, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you. Yeah, good race from you there, man. Apologies we didn't really get to show you that much, but really good race. I'm glad everyone is enjoying this.
Right, so joining us from B Lobby then.
You didn't let me down. You didn't let me down, Sam. You're fine. 2nd place is an extremely good result. It is okay.
So if I open that in there, then go back into here, I am all over the place at the moment.
Aren't we all?
Right, so I'm right in making it out that joining us from B Lobby, we have the return of... Where am I looking? In there. Darren Powell.
Ooh, good to see him back.
Matt Fitzgerald.
Really good to see him back after that one.
Lee Hepburn. Clement Marceau. And I need to cross-reference this one and double-check in this list. Kieran Evans.
I think I've just seen in the Discord that Kieran Evans is unfortunately not able to take part in the last race of the evening. Anyone see where Taku finished? Yes, Desi did. Bear with me 1 second. I believe it was 12th in the end. Yeah, 12th for Desi.
Does that mean then that only 4 are joining us?
Yes, just 4 will be coming up. What happened? Oh, there was a moment where... Oh, I can't remember who it was who lost their braking point, to be fair, actually. But he got tagged by someone in the chicane at the end of the long straight and dropped back down. Who was it who tapped him? Do you remember, Connor? Who tagged Taku?
I didn't see, but we did see Dan Dryden was involved and dropped to the back, so I don't know if it was him who made contact.
Possibly, actually. You might be right. You might be right. It was a bit of a concertina effect into the chicane, and yeah, I think it was Dan Dryden who gave him a tap, but I think Dan Dryden, his car was kind of like phasing.
Right.
So it's like started gapping a marathon Brad as I hit a curb. Oh, just sent you. That's what happened and you went wide. That makes sense. It's been extremely good racing though to watch tonight. Like, it makes it so much easier for us in comms. Was it the one coming up? The curb that sent... Yeah, I was going to say it was turn 2. 2, or was it the... Was it the left-hander, or was it the right hand, the long right? Oh, I just took it funny. It's a higher curb, isn't it, that one? I'll just let you guys chat, you're not listening to me.
He said the left started it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Then
And just pinged off. See, my classic on that corner, and this is why I don't race anymore, is that I would hit that wall. So, this is why I'm here, watching everyone else do it. I can't mess it up as much here. I'm surprised I haven't yet. If I thought anyone was going to hit a wall, it was when you threw that close through the hotel section. Straight up. I was pinged off a wall in the second to last corner, was just a smidge scary. Oh! Could you imagine? The 3 that were scrapping for second place just suddenly see you in the wall on your roof. Who won race 1? Noble is 2 out of 2 so far. I'm writing that out, yeah.
He is indeed.
Where are you, Roger? Yeah, come on, Roger, where are you? We're missing you. Yep, not reading that one out.
Thought you get that when you end up in the bath too long. Oh, so that's what's going on.
I just always have it. That's fair enough. Get a sanction. We've missed you, but got some after watching this race.
Oh,
yeah, that's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. Now we completely understand. We'll cry about it off stream, but on stream.
Oh, somebody recognises you in the chat.
Yeah, that's Maxi.
Ah.
Welcome.
Unfortunately, no Alex. He's
Nah, he didn't make the jump up. He's done alright.
He's losing is okay. He did tell us what his little bet was if he won a race. So he's only got
it's not
one.
gone too well, that one, has it?
No, he's not. He's got one more opportunity.
Damn good, mate. You have to be there for next week. There's the deal. Next week is going to be an interesting one.
It's all right. It's peanuts.
Yeah, what's another extra few days, huh?
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, for those of you that don't know, I wish you could know.
Come on now. Right then. Race 3 of the night. Final race of the evening. Round 15. This will mark the halfway point in the championship when this one is over.
Oh, God.
Get the camera set up because it forgets it every time. And yeah, as mentioned, Anthony Bartolini will be starting on pole position. I think that's his best start of the season, if I'm
I do
mistaken.
think it was. I remember him having a
it probably
good
is, isn't it?
showing last time out at Hakone, and just couldn't hold on till the end, could he? He was.
Yeah, he definitely had quite a high start, but yeah, it just.
I'm sure
This
he
is
was
gonna be-
knocking on the podium door.
Yeah, that does sound. He was holding on to third for the entire race, I want to say, and then it was just in the last few laps he just got caught. And I believe we found out afterwards that he had actually slightly damaged his engine, which was part of the problem.
Yes, that was it. He was doing quite well holding his own, and that was it. The engine damage is what allowed him to get sort of drawn back into the battle.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's his chance, though.
This is the thing I want to see now. This MG. Can Connolly's get ahead of him? What is that MG like in clear air?
I'm intrigued to see what he manages to do with that one as well. But as we make our way halfway around the warm-up lap, let's have a run through then of our grid for the final race of the evening. So as mentioned a couple of times already, Anthony Bartolini will be starting on pole with Connor Lees alongside him. The row behind is Owen Good and Bradley Thornton. Then it is Jason Sherlock and Sam Creek. Then it is our double race winner for the night so far in Kean Walsh, who he's now going to be the one to try and make it 3 out of 3 that no one has done in many seasons. No one has managed a 3 out of 3 yet. It's the thing with the race 3 reverse grid. It shakes things up, and we'll see if he can manage to be the first one to pull it off. Starting in 8th is Joseph Atkinson with his teammate Scott Morgan. Behind him, alongside, is Phil Garside. Outside the top 10 for Thibaut Devomi and Michael Dessy, Declan Evans and Matt Carter. Carl Cully is in 15th. Behind them is Mark Guest, Darren Powell, Matt Fitzgerald, Lee Hepburn and Clement Marceau. That is your grid. Only 20 cars taking part in the final race of the night here in A-Lobby. The unfortunate Kieran Evans, who, again, no relation at all to Declan, unable to participate in the final race of the evening, so just the 20 cars for this one.
Got a fan of the
I'm
MG.
sure it will still have fighting up and down the grid. Say again.
Got a fan of the MG livery. I wonder why they're a fan of the MG livery.
Of course Maxie is a fan of the MG livery. She painted it. So then, here we go. The cars make their way onto the grid. We will be starting this race actually spectating Connor Lees due to the better starting grid camera that it gives us.
Yeah, it's only taken me till now to figure that one out. I was sort of picking 8th, not 10th, sort of around that area.
Makes sense. It's easily done. So then, race 3 of the night, round 15 of the championship is about to get underway. Oh, it's a great start up at the front. I think Connolly's actually... Can't tell if he nailed that one or if he just got a good jump.
Definitely.
However, Owen Good's got a really good run out of him. And he's going around the outside of Lease into turn 1 and into second place goes Owen Good.
I was going to say, it definitely looked like Lease got himself bogged a little bit off the line there.
Looked like his actual start was good, and then it just didn't accelerate away from the corner. But up at the front, you can see Bartolini is in first place. He's got away well. Owen Good is coming alongside him now, trying to get an outside run. Up on the inside goes Bradley Thornton. Big move up the inside of Connor Lease into the hairpin. Lease now finds himself shuffled back into fourth and is under a lot of pressure now from the podium finishers from races 1 and 2. Up at the front, you can see Bartolini. Really big pressure from Owen Good as they make their way down the back straight for the first time.
Also big pressure from Connor Lease. I don't think he's done with Bradley Thornton yet.
Not quite good. Round the outside. Is he going to get the inside for the right-hander?
Oh, spin!
He's got a good exit.
Spin, and I think that was...
That's Sam Creek?
Yes, it was.
I can see Sam Creek jumping down the order.
Down to 12th now.
He's managed to get himself... Yeah, he's managed to keep himself going, so that's something. He finds himself, down in 12th place. I didn't see... I missed it on my... 13th now, sorry. Didn't see anything on my camera angle. It was Bradley Thornton. Big move up the inside under braking. Just manages to lose out, though, as Owen Good accelerates and gets back underneath him.
I didn't see what happened either, Steve. I just caught it in the background, but it just looked like maybe somebody's just gave him a little tap in the back as they've come through that chicane.
That concertina effect is possibly had... Oh, side by side, you see in the background there. I think that was Good and Bradley Thornton. It's Good dropped back down to 6th.
Oh.
Has he had a moment with his...
Yes, I think he may have had a controller disconnect looking at that, Steve. That looks like...
He's dropped all the way back down. He's just rocketing down the standings, down into 14th, 18th. He's going to be at the back of the field by the time that they finish this first lap.
Yep.
But what that's doing is that's given a really good opportunity to Bartolini, who finds himself up at the front with a 1.1 second lead.
That looks...
Which is immediately closed.
A telltale...
Nope, never mind, it was just an issue on the timing.
Yeah, this looks like a controller disconnect. He's gone again, Steve, looking at this. I think maybe... Oh, it's on charge. He's just got a dodgy connection, but that is...
that's so unfortunate for him. I'm sure Good Waste on a wheel, actually, so I wonder if that's what's disconnected. But hopefully he can get himself back through the pack shortly. However, must be mentioned, Connor Lease did run wide at that corner and has now found himself in 4th place. We've got Bartolini still in 1st, Bradley Thornton is in 2nd place, Jason Sherlock for company, and then behind them you can see Connor Lease has a few cars for company, one of those being our race 1 and 2 winner, Kean Walsh, who is tucked in 5th place.
One to watch, see Sam Creeks beginning his recovery drive. He was down to 13th, he's up to 10th, and he's just looking at Michael Dessy now for 9th.
Yeah, around the outside goes Sam Creek, under braking. Into the right-hander, over the curb, that's that position gained. Dessy's going to put him under pressure, surely into the left-hander. I think the problem that was facing Owen Good may still be going ahead. It's hard to tell back there, I can just see that he's kind of hovering at about the 2.6 now. He's still losing time back there, that's so unfortunate for him. Thibaut Devomi must be mentioned, a really good position in 8th at the moment. Up at the front there you can see Bradley Thornton is under immense pressure at the moment, it looks like, from Jason Sherlock.
Another man looking to be under pressure at the moment. Connor Lease is under a lot of pressure here from Kean Walsh and Phil Garside.
Yeah, under the hotel section we go. Lease in that. I think that was a tap on the wall there from Kean Walsh, but I don't think it would have done enough to cause many damage. Through the right-hander we go. Into the final corner. Oh, a bit of a slide there from Lease, I think, so he might find himself under pressure during this straight as well. The MG has got okay acceleration out of that corner, actually, so it might be okay, but you can see the run that
late on the
Walsh
brakes.
He's got the inside.
Much later on the brakes there from Kean Walsh. Now he's going to set about this chasing the top 3 down.
Yeah, and Connor Lease, look, you can see he's just getting hung out to dry a little bit now. He wasn't force wide by any means, but he's gone on over the curbs there and he's just lost out. Phil Garside loses out as well, and Scott Morgan says, thank you very much, I'll take 2 of you then, don't worry about it, never mind. Braking for the MG, that's one of the strengths the MG does as well. It does seem to have the best braking distance on the grid.
Morgan's got the cut.
You can see that into that hairpin then.
Morgan's got the cut back. Lease just doing everything he can to hold on, but I think this one might be in vain.
Yeah, Scott Morgan to see there on the inside. It's all going to come down to the braking point.
No, the MG holds on.
Yeah, the braking point on that MG, he's managed to get that one nailed, and Garside looks to get the inside run on Morgan as they go over the curving. Well, Morgan runs wide. There from under a little bit of pressure, you can see Morgan did back off as he's lost a bit of ground there to Connolly's as a result. Up at the front. Oh, look at the switch there. Suddenly, Jason Sherlock, did he have the move on the inside? No, not this time. God, I thought he was diving to the inside there of Bradley Thornton, who is chasing down Anthony Bartolini, who is doing really well up at the front at the moment. So smooth through that section is Bartolini.
Oh, a couple of cars get very twitchy there, Steve. Just the cars in 6th and 7th, Morgan and Garside, got very twitchy. I don't know if they've just clipped that barrier on the inside of the right kink. I heard the crunching noise, and they both got really twitchy, so I don't know if they're both just really pushing it and just clipped the barrier on the inside there.
Might be one to keep an eye out for. I can't see anything clear as we're watching them. Behind them you can see on the ticker.
It'll be on this next shot. You'd see off on the outside of the car if there's any damage. Definitely looks like a bit on Garside's car.
Yeah, I think Morgan might have got away with it, but it could be Garside who got the contact. You might be right there. Just the slightest, a little bit on the front quarter actually of Scott Morgan. Garside puts him under immense pressure as they make their way through the right-hander down to the left, and I think Morgan's just going to reclaim that position. Yes, he is. Further back you can see Thibaut Duomi and Michael Desi side by side into the hairpin. Duomi's got the inside line. He looks to try and out-accelerate him. Desi's hung out to dry a little bit.
Another one I've noticed.
Another one of those.
Steve, Owen Good, whatever issues he had, he seems to have been able to resolve. He is closing in on the back of the pack now.
That's something. That's good then. That's good to see him. I'm glad that he's possibly got that one fixed. It's a shame that he had the issue, but it's a hopeful thing to see him coming through. You can see there Matt Carr is actually putting Michael Desi under a lot of pressure. Carter's having a really good round this week. I think that has to be mentioned. I know he's struggled a little bit in the golf in the first few rounds, and he looks like he's starting to really find his form. He's just following these two, looking for a gap, but wanted to break a little bit of contact there from Desi on the back of Thibaut Duomi. Up at the front there, you can see Bradley Thornton has actually managed to eke out a little bit of a gap there to Jason Sherlock, and actually finds himself now second place right behind.
Sherlock's made a mistake.
Sherlock has, yeah, and that's Keon Walsh into potential stealing third place off him as they go side by side under the hotel yet again. Sherlock's going to have nightmares of these Echo Sneak cars.
Move's not fully done yet. Oh, he's clipped the wall.
Oh, was that a tap on the wall?
That's a tap on the wall, and that's kind of lease up the inside now.
That's going to really upset his exit. Has he managed? Did he damage himself on that tap on the wall?
I think
damage. He's okay.
He's got no damage.
Boy, he's slightly got away with that one. Conor Lees isn't going to mind. He's got himself up into fourth place.
Phil Garside's liking the look of this though.
Yeah, these lot just scrapping away every gap that's opening up, and appearing at the back of this queue, by the way, after an earlier spin. Sam Creek is suddenly appearing and maybe looking to make a mark on this battle for what is really third place.
Garside spins!
Oh, in the background!
Garside
move. Not sure if he got caught up with... I think he got slightly caught up with Scott Morgan. Garside hasn't managed to keep himself going. He has. He's kind of lucky in the sense that it was into that hairpin, so he's not really lost a massive amount of momentum. If he had done that later in the lap, he would have lost so much time. I mean, of course, he has lost a few positions, but he's
immediately looking to get one of them back.
Managed to save it.
And he's got one of them back on Joseph Atkinson, and change for the lead.
Change for the lead. Side by side, you can see Bradley Thornton and Anthony Bartolini. Bartolini gets the exit though in that Audi. He's got the inside line. He gets that one straight back, and Thornton's going to have to settle and tuck in behind, surely. Oh no, they are.
He's
getting a slight overlap. He's got a better run down this straight. Is he going to be able to do much around the outside?
Can he keep that momentum up?
Bartolini's really holding that inside line. He's forcing Bradley Thornton to go the long way around, and Thornton's done really well to hold it.
Which gives him the inside for the next few corners, and that is the move
really good there from Thornton. And up into first goes Bradley Thornton. Bartolini into second. Is he going to go for the just follow this guy around technique now? Because he doesn't want to lose out, surely, because he's the guys that are coming up behind in Keon Walsh, Jason Sherlock, Connor Lease, etc. If they manage to put him under pressure, that could be a lot of trouble. Or is Bartolini going to go straight for first place into the final corner? Not this time. He looked like he was going for the gap at first.
Two people I'm seeing climbing the order very quickly now. Steve, Michael Dessy, and Phil Garside. Dessy obviously had a bit of what was it, towards the end of the last race. He dropped back a bit. He's on the recovery, and obviously Garside after that spin early on.
Yeah, a pair of them are doing pretty well. Must also be mentioned that Sam Creek found himself now in 6th place. Obviously, he was the beneficiary of that moment for Phil Garside. It looks like it got Scott Morgan involved as well. See the front two looking to just try and escape together, as they do see Keon Walsh is on the hunt. Further back, you can see that Kyle Cully looks like he's putting Thibaut Dubomi under quite considerable pressure, and he's got Matt Carter for slight company as well.
I was going to say, it looked like Cully had a very good run up that hairpin.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to... He's just using the slipstream at the moment, hoping to get a run on him. But Dubomi's doing really well defending that inside line. Into the braking zone we go. Kyle Cully round the outside. Looks to attempt to switch back on him. It's not quite there, I don't think. No, he's not quite got the position this time round. Declan Evans is in a bit of a battle there with Claude Marceau. I think he's actually lost out a bit there. I think the pair of them might have got slightly caught up, as Marceau has lost a couple of places to Fitzgerald and Good.
And possibly 4 wide here. In this battle, Cully's going to go inside.
See, Matt Carter has got Kyle Cully for
Cully's
company. They're all over each other trying to find space at the moment. At the moment, Matt Carter looks like he's going to benefit from this one. Still 3 wide behind them. Surely one of them has to back out. Nah, just carry on. Don't worry about it. Space will find itself.
Cully tries to go up the inside.
Through they go. Matt Carter finds himself now in 9th.
I was going to say, Cully tried to go up the inside. Move. I think the door's fully open there.
No, I think I agree with that. And I think Cully was being a little bit opportunistic, but he nearly did make that one go. Up at the front, must be mentioned, Sound Creek is all over the back and actually about to overtake Connor Lease for 5th place. Connor going around the outside of turn 1 into turn 2.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, there is contact. I think Connor Lease went to turn in, didn't quite realise that Sound Creek had his nose there.
Scott Morgan's going to be rubbing his hand over this, because I think there Sound Creek's trying to give the position back, but he doesn't want to lose the position to Scott Morgan.
Yes, I think Scott Morgan is really upsetting the apple cart here for these two. Sound Creek though, good recovery drive for the moment up to 5th. Still the battle rages on for that 9th place. Kyle Cully, look at the queue that's forming behind this lot. Matt Carter finds himself in what you'd think would be a comfortable 9th, but this entire group goes down to 19th.
Somebody who's trying to get rather comfortable at the moment is Michael Dessy. He's got no one in front of him, no one behind him.
Yeah, Dessy's in a little bit of no man's land at the moment, but obviously the timer is wrong. He's not 125 seconds back. You can see there's movement all up and down the grid at the moment. It's mainly in that battle for what is realistically 9th place, as Connor Lease and Sound Creek side by side into the left-hander. Up at the front, got to give a good mention here. Anthony Bartolini is really holding his own up here in 2nd place. In fact, I don't think Kean Walsh and Jason Sherlock have the pace to catch these two, as Bradley Thornton is trying to escape, and Bartolini's just like, nope, I'm right here, you're not disappearing from me, as Bradley Thornton runs wide through that turn. Possible opportunity for Bartolini to strike. Through the hotel section we go.
I'm right in saying this would be if either of these two drivers were to win. We've not had an Audi win this season, have we? And we've definitely not had a Honda win either, have we?
No, you would be right. There hasn't been an Audi win yet this season, nor has there been a Honda win. No, the best finisher of the Honda so far has been Bradley Thornton with a 5th place at Hakone. So, really big result here for both these teams, especially with the manufacturer's standings as well, which, at the moment has been slightly dominated by the
Fords and Vauxhalls, you'd imagine, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and the Audis and Hondas find themselves sat in 3rd and 4th. They could be making a jump here as well.
Am I right in saying
on this penultimate lap
could be a first win in OMA for both drivers, or have either of them won before?
Bradley Thornton, I want to say, has won a race before. I'll do a very quick search through my stats. Bradley Thornton had a couple of podiums last season. Always been a driver up there. Has Thornton? Yes, he has won a race. His last win on my stats was in season 25, but I have got missing statistics for seasons 26 and 27, so he probably did have something in those two as well. Anthony Bartolini, however, he has yet to score. I think he's even yet to score a podium in OMA, if I'm being completely honest. His last season was his first season, if I've got that right, and Bartolini had a best finish of 15th, so this is a real jump up the order for Bartolini. It's great to see.
Just keeping an eye on this battle for third, Steve. Kian Walsh just trying to stick the nose up the inside on Sherlock.
Yeah, Sherlock has managed to get third away from Walsh at the moment. You can see in the background, I think that's Connor Lees and Scott Morgan side by side. A little bit wide there for Sherlock, but managed to keep that one under the hotel we go. These two flying away, by the way, is pretty much confirming the first and second with their positions. You can see further back, by the way, just noticed it. Owen Good has found himself up into 14th place. Incredibly good recovery drive by him.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a hectic battle here, Steve. Just one of the Audis there in that battle has just clipped the wall. I think there. That would have been Fitzgerald at the back of the pack.
Fitzgerald finds himself down in 19th. Yeah, that gap has that battle that was for 9th has opened itself up slightly as the drivers in 12th and 13th in Joseph Atkinson and Thibaut de Beaumont have just dropped off a little bit, so that battle for 9th is now just a 3-car fight.
It is getting a bit
Scott Morgan finds himself up into 6th.
Further back in this battle. Oh, somebody's gone off. I think Declan Evans has just clipped the wall, and I think in the process he's clipped Clement Marceau. He's just backed off just to redress the situation, and I think actually Clement's slightly behind.
I think that may have looked like it settled itself down, but good spot.
Fourth and third again.
With just the final lap to go, I have to keep an eye on this battle for third. Like you say,
Walsh has got a head.
Walsh re-finds himself in third place. Atkinson, apologies. Sherlock finds himself in 4th.
Now, here's the question for you, Steve. Final lap. If you was Kian Walsh, would you back Sherlock in Sam Creek?
I think this is the one corner that I think you have to worry about. I know we've seen them battling through the hotel section, but I think right now he might be playing the team game and trying to get Sam Creek involved in this one.
It's the final lap. If he's going to do it, he's
think
got
there's really an opportunity to make a move here. Don't think there's going to be a gap. There's a little bit of a slide there for Walsh. Is that going to present an opportunity for Sherlock? Not quite up at the front. Just to confirm, it is still Bradley Thornton first, but he's under so much pressure through these final corners from Bartolini. I don't think it's going to be enough. In through the right-hander we go. Bartolini runs wide. That's going to confirm it. Bradley Thornton round the final corner. Great drive by the Honda driver. And that is his first win of the season for Thornton. Really well earned second place for Bartolini. That is third for Kian Walsh. He couldn't do the perfect night. The battle still raging on. I think Matt Carter did come back in 9th. He did. Really good finish for Matt Carter. His first top 10 finish of the season. Connor Lees, good mention in 7th as well, but back of the grid managed to get across the line as well. I think Marceau ended up with some damage by the end of that one. Finishes 6 seconds behind Declan Evans. There you go though. As mentioned before, Kian Walsh in 3rd. 2nd place, really well done, Anthony Bartolini. Bradley Thornton, back on the top step he is. Takes the win. Round 15 of the championship goes his way. Great racing tonight. That battle for 9th place that was covered by just, well, about 10 drivers was immense at one point, and they eventually split themselves up, but such a good fight up and down the grid. So unfortunate for Declan Evans, like you say, that he had this moment that dropped him back down to 19th, but the pack that he was in, the slightest movement and he would have dropped down. So confirmation then of the results. Top 10 is Bradley Thornton, Anthony Bartolini, Kean Walsh, Jason Sherlock, Sam Creek, Scott Morgan in 6th, Connor Lease with a really good result for MG in 7th. Michael Dessy came home in 8th, Matt Carter 9th, Carl Cully in 10th to finish as the top Elantra of the night. Phil Garside came home in 11th, Joseph Atkinson 12th, Owen Good, really good recovery drive to 13th, Thibaut Debomi in 14th, Mark Guest 15th, Darren Powell 16th, Matt Fitzgerald in 17th, 18th for Lee Hepburn, 19th for Declan Lemons, and 20th place went the way of Clement Marceau. Whew.
That was fun.
That was really good.
We
really enjoyed that one.
Some very good racing out there, has to be said. Some very good racing across the field, really. It was, we had the odd little spin here and there, which you're going to get in touring cars, but overall, I thought it was pretty good, pretty respectful racing all round.
Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, I'd be interested to see how those watching felt. I hope you all enjoyed the racing tonight. I know I did. Battles up and down the grid. Would love to see what happened at the towards the back at the end.
And that marks the midpoint now.
Yeah, midpoint in the season. That is exactly halfway through. We'll make sure to get the standings up on the socials. We missed out on getting the standings up with from last week's rounds in time, but we'll try and get those up in post and get those updated quicker. But yeah, really good racing, and I think the important one was we were looking at with the top, with those missing this week in Liam Ferguson and Joe Turnell. We're obviously looking at Scott Morgan as the main one to possibly make a push. Mark Guest was in 4th in the championship. He had a action-packed night, and then behind him, 5th place Jason Sherlock. He had a really good week. He could find himself really jumping up through the standings now. As could Sam Creek, who sits in 6th in the championship. Joseph Atkinson in 7th. Could we see him making some moves? Kean Walsh 8th. He's probably going to be making some moves now. Bartolini, though, in 10th. He had a good run, and that 2nd place would have done a world of good for his results. And we could see him start making a push. As we hit the halfway point, anything can happen from here on.
I think it's definitely worth mentioning as well. Jason Sherlock on his return didn't get the win, but he's got very good consistent points here as well, and that brings him right back into it as well, I'd say.
Absolutely. I think that's two 3rd places and a 4th for Sherlock, which of course isn't, Kean Walsh's 2 firsts and a 3rd, but it's still extremely good. Gutted little 2nd to last to 13th. What happened? What happened, Butters? What was the cause of it? Because it looked to us, because your car phased, like it went ghosted for a second. Did you lose connection to a controller or wheel, or what was it?
Controller.
It was a controller disconnect. Oh, man. Twice. Oh no. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. But really good recovery drive up to 13th. Sam Creek. I think we did miss your spin. Was it a tap on the back? Was it concertina effect through the chicane? It was our assumption on it, but we didn't quite catch it. We just saw you kind of sideways in the background.
Ooh.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, another really good recovery up to 5th. Had the move based on that chicane on him off, then 0 to... Oh, man. Yeah, agree with Fastbud there. Really great recovery. Up to 5th. Can't argue that at all. The pair of you, up to 13th, up to 5th. Don't think you know I was there, to be fair. It's one of those, if it needs nothing major is what it is. Well, if it's something that needs looking at, obviously, yeah, we know the drill. Stewards will have a look. But yeah, really great racing though tonight, guys. I know I enjoyed it. I hope everyone racing enjoyed it. Fastbird, obviously, thank you for staying in the chat for this entire time. No point really waiting on my points. You never know. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, but it's always worth a look if you feel like it's needed. Fastbird, yeah, again, really glad you were here for the night. Hope you enjoyed the racing as well. Yeah, and I myself, I look forward to next week. That's going to be a real, what's the phrase?
Technical.
A real shake-up of what we've been seeing, because next time round we find ourselves at Kyalami.
That with a long straight, Steve, we are going to be seeing some slipstreaming.
I am so looking forward to Kyalami. It's one of those tracks that really separates. Yeah, great race tonight. Well, thanks, Fastbird. It really separates people because it's just the technical section through there. It's slightly similar to that hotel section at Yas Marina, except it's just there's more of it. You know, there's maybe 2 lines that you can take through through some corners, but it is such a technical area that you can't afford to make a mistake. And I'm really looking forward to see how these lot do. Astra will be beautiful around there. Yeah, I think the Astra will be one. There's another one I'm thinking of. I think the Audi might do okay around there because I feel like the Audi's got decent, just kind of. If I've got my my memory right, the Audi does really nicely through those types of corners. Honda was very good here. I was very happy to see the Honda do well here because we started the season looking at the Astra and the Ford as the powerful cars, but as the season's gone on, you're seeing, you know, the Hondas making appearances, the Audis making appearances, an MG in the top 10. It's heavy braking zones. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how next week goes. But again, I hope that everyone enjoyed it. Connor, any final words? Any final comments from you before we sign off?
No final comments from me, Steve. Just a week to recharge and go again next time out in South Africa.
Absolutely, cannot wait. Right, well, thank you everyone for joining us yet again. And thank you again, Connor, for joining me. And yeah, we'll do it all again next time round. So thank you everyone for joining in, for watching, for taking part. And yeah, we'll see you from rounds 16 to 18 from Kyalami. Thank you very much.
Yeah.